Hi everyone who is joining us. I'm here with Victor. He's the director of the film RSI, and it's going to be a part of the Moving Bodies project and the screen and selection of short films here at Lago. Hello, Victor. Thank you for joining me. How are
Hi,
you?
I'm good, thank
Um,
you. Me.
could you please, first of all, describe your film in a few words, like a short description of the film, and what was it inspired by?
Okay, so it's um, it's two people who find themselves in a world that is new for them, and they try to find their way in it. Um, and yeah, it's basically inspired by the pandemic, which happened then when we started filming. We filmed it around end of March, beginning April last year, and we were concerned about how we project ourselves towards the outside world because we work as dancers mostly and choreographers in the theater, and there was no world for us to present our work. So we were concerned about that, and basically the film is an answer to how we dealt with that. It's not necessarily just a presentation of us, but more of this idea of how to present yourself when you don't have a world in which you can show your work.
Mm. Well, that's great. My first question for you, and thank you for that description of the film, is how did you had you work with these dancers before, or like how did you choose them, and how was the work process with them?
So I started. Well, they're my colleagues. We all work in the same theater, but not in the same capacity. So I work as a rehearsal director for the company in which Allison and Chris are dancers, and we decided to do a project together before we thought that we're going to make a film, and yeah, it came to the point where I asked them to be that for the film. I like them personally, like we're very good friends, and this is also one of the big reasons I wanted to work with them because of the situation already being very hard for us to create things. I just wanted to have a very easy process, or as easy as possible, with people that I share my ideas with and that support me, or we support each other and we do. So this was the main starting point.
And what is like what's your background as a choreographer? I mean, how did you start, and like how was like until this point? What have you been doing mostly?
So
And have you had made films? And have you had any made any films before?
hmm. This is my debut film. Let's say that I feel confident enough to send around to festivals. I started as a dancer, or yeah, interested in dance and performing. Um, and from there, I started also being busy doing choreography and making little clips of classes I was teaching or performances. You have to like present yourself in a certain way.
Mhm.
That editing your and
Hello, sorry, I cannot hear you very well. Okay, so while Victor is gone, so the film is very interesting. Oh, here you are. Are you
yes,
there again? Oh,
yes,
good. You had left for a moment. I'm sorry. You were talking about your experience with film and choreography.
yes, yeah. Well, I don't know what you heard and what you didn't, but in general,
I
being busy with film as a dancer to either film your performances and like deal with the editing of that, or with social media, having to put yourself in videos, or I was very busy with that. So it was a natural step to say, okay, let's try and make something that actually has an artistic process to the film, and try to see what happens if I am in control of the images that I want to have for this piece, which I'm now filming. And that was very interesting, and there was a lot of time to dive into this new information, lots of YouTube and like Googling on ideas, because I like tech, but this tech was new for me. So it was a nice world to dive into, where I still don't know enough about, but at least enough to make this product of RSI.
Well, congratulations.
Thanks.
And wait, I haven't. Oh yeah, my next question was, how did you pick the locations for the film? Because there are many different locations in the film, and like they're very different. So how did you choose those?
So what I wanted to create a contrast. So the costumes that we have, which are very formal, or kind of formal, I wanted to put or have a contrast with surrounding just to have a contrast with the surrounding and the costume. So that's why most of the film is in the forest or park. But I also wanted to still go back to a certain urban, grayish, not so inspiring surrounding. Therefore, the beginning and the ending has kind of this. And I wanted to separate those two worlds. So there were more locations which we took out, because I found this actually enough. And the other location, which was a bit of the same feel, didn't really give anything extra to this creating this content. So I wanted an empty location in the beginning, something empty, something not so fitting, because it was in a garage. The beginning. I mean, people haven't seen it maybe, but so the beginning is in a garage, and it's very empty, and it's still a surrounding which you usually wouldn't find these costumes in, but it feel wise it would be the same. So, or at least I decide for myself that this feels kind of the same, costume and the beginning surrounding and the ending. But then if when going to the park, I wanted to create somehow the same. So a surrounding which by itself has nothing to do with them, and you don't see much from them, but who they are, how they move in their costume. So I wanted to create a contrast in both, even though those two different locations also are not the same at all. It's a nature and it's urban environment. So park, like it was many hours of walking and going like, this is a nice, the is great and the environment's nice, so let's go this. We picked out around, I don't know, like 12 locations to kind of. This was by accident. This was us walking through the park, and we saw that they were taking this out of the river, or the little lake-ish thing that is there. And at some point it was dry, and then we were like, wow, this is great. We need to use this. So also a lot of things came by accident.
It shows like a nice equilibrium between like all of the locations and the costumes and everything. And my other question was, what did you have first? I mean, did you work the camera around the choreography, or did you have the choreography first, or the idea for it, or did you have like, oh, I want to try this with the camera, for example? I mean, how was the process with making those two things together? I mean, the film elements and the choreography elements.
I started having choreography. So we started to be, well, also because we didn't know yet if we're going to make this a stage performance or a film. So at some point we just started in the studio making movement and trying to trying to create movement. So we had some movement before jumping into the location. And yeah,
Mm.
at some point, my ideas on the movement we have and the location, or assigning a location to it, at some point I ran out of material. So we have more locations than material. So so we had tried out movement. Like there's a sequence, a running sequence in the film, which is choreographed. So the whole, so this is a choreographed duet, which we put in the space that I thought it would be nice in, and then I choreographed my camera movements around them,
Mm.
and so I can easily maneuver myself around. This was yeah, a lot of fun, but there were also moments where I didn't know the movement. I just knew the location, and I knew what I wanted. I knew that I wanted them to run through these trees and stuff like that. So that was a moment where we really had to figure everything out on the spot. My movement with the camera, their movement throughout the forest. This shot, for instance, was a shot I really wanted to do. This I knew before, like this I want to do with the camera. I don't know how to do it, but I want this. So, and then we took some tools out to the park and we tried this out, I don't know, 20 times in different locations until one stuck. Yeah, but this, yeah. So a lot of different ways, having choreography, and adapting it to the location, or having a location and creating the movement there because of something I wanted, or this as a shot that I thought of, I really wanted, and tried it out with them.
Well, I would like to add that it's very interesting that we have many of the films. We have like the choreographer and the director, and it's very interesting to have one of the films like yours that has a choreographer director, because I feel like there's a different approach to the movement. That's very interesting to see,
Oh,
of someone who has like both, who is doing both of the roles at the same time. I think that's very interesting, and that shows for everyone else who hasn't watched it yet. I mean, just keeping this in mind is quite an interesting difference with the other films.
mm.
And well, my next question was like, what are you working on next? Are you doing more films? Do you have any other films in plan or
Uh,
anything else?
well, this one was finished in April last year, and then we kind of came back to work again and being able to be in studio to create things around August. But then we saw, and I started the same kind of thing, wanting to create a stage piece with a group of 5 dancers. So started again in the studio, same kind of thing. And then around the mid-December, we had a big lockdown in Germany. I think around, I don't know, around the 20th or something. And yeah, and I had this whole process in the studio. And I thought, okay, let's foresee that this is going to happen. We're not going to be able to show this on stage, or maybe next year, but I'm in a good flow now. So I found a location again and did the same thing, this time in shorter period of time. So we shot everything for this second movie in I don't know, in two days or something, on a location which we didn't know so well. But yeah, there's another film, same length, kind of, different idea, different dancers, that I am finished with now, or finished with in, I don't know, February or something. Yeah, and I'm planning another film in September, to shoot it in September. But now that things are coming back again to stage, yeah, the main focus stays to make choreography for stage. But
Mm.
yeah,
Mm.
I don't think I will lose my interest in film, and seeing what I can do with what I have still, because yeah, the more I work on it, also the more I would want things to be more professional than they were before, which comes with a lot of organization. And yeah, I don't know. I do it. It's very basic, this stuff that I do now. So I would want it to become a little bit more complete as a film production.
Well, that's great.
Well, that's great. I hope to
I
see.
hope to see
I
more
hope
of
to
the
see more
films
of
that
the
you
films
make.
that you make.
Sorry, sorry about the sound. I hope to make more to see more of the films that you make, and I hope to see them at Lago in future editions.
Yeah, me
And
too.
do you have any like comments for anyone who is going to watch the film? I mean, anything that you would like them to know beforehand, or
Um, well, one thing is to really watch it with good sound because, or like good headphones, because the sound made by Lea Roth is something I find very special. Like the working together with her was super great. I find that the sound and the images fall together super well for my taste. And so yeah, I would say like have a good headset.
that's
Uh,
going to be on the big screen?
yeah, so great, great sound. This is cool. And the rest, yeah, I don't want to. I think I make a lot of suggestions within the film. There's a lot of space for interpretation, and I don't want to give too much away because and if yeah, I can talk for hours, I guess, about where it comes from and what I want people to see, but in the end, I think it's about what people look or what they see when they look at it, and I would urge to stay open-minded for it.
Okay, great. Well, thank you for joining us again, and thank you for everyone who will be watching this. And I hope to that you enjoy the film. It's going to be again on the 23rd of July in Lago in the Moving Bodies project and the Screen Dance selection. So thank you again, and have a great day.
You too. Thanks for having me. Ciao.
Ciao.